Welcome to the world of histrionics. Exciting event. Hang on, Welcome to the world of histrionics. Exciting adventures in performance history. Incredible tales from before the now. Oh, I should introduce myself to you. My name is Andrew No, it's not. It's Sir Andrew Trollope. I've just been knighted this year, 17th of February, 1461. Knighted by the son of the rightful king, the Lancastrian king, Henry VI of that name. I'll have nothing to do with Edward of the Yorkists, or Edward IV, as I've heard he's calling himself now. No, thank you very much. And now, I am a knight in the Lancastrian forces, fighting against him, wearing this 4 stone of steel and iron. I'm not a stranger to it. I've been fighting all of my life, practically. Joined and started fighting in France in 1420. That was 41 years ago. So, I know quite what I'm talking about, and I know my business. And I'll let you into a secret. I originally came over with the Yorkist forces. I know, sailing over from Calais and going all the way to Ludlow Castle. But when I met the Duke of York and suddenly discovered that he wanted to be king, well, I changed sides straight away. No. See, the Duke of York had always said he never wanted to be king. The Duke of York had always said that the king was his true friend, and it was the king's other friends he didn't like. It was the Lancastrian friends of the king he was opposed to, and what he wanted to do was become proper friends with the king, because the Yorkists were the real friends, and the Lancastrian friends were the not good friends, but he was the good one. You've all been on a playground, you know exactly what it's like. Well, the Wars of the Roses, so-called, are exactly like a massive playground fallout, except with thousands upon thousands of armed men on either side. So, I changed sides, and on the 30th of December, 1460, we had a huge battle at Sandal Castle in Wakefield. And I got to be a real part of it by coming up with the idea to defeat the Duke of York. I mean, we had more soldiers and knights and men-at-arms than him anyway, but he was behind the walls of Sandal Castle. So, we decided to ambush one of their hunting parties. We captured them, and when the rest of the forces from the castle came out with the Duke, we surprised them in the woods, which, you know, wearing this, it's not easy, is it? Sneaking up on people. Kind of make a lot of noise, but it still worked, and we won. And the Duke of York was not only defeated, but he had his head chopped off and stuck on the spike on the walls of the city of York, with a paper crown on his head. Then, after that, in the freezing cold and the rain, we marched all the way to St Albans, just outside of London, and we won there as well, surprising the Yorkist forces by quick marching around to their rear and surprising them from behind. We thought we were on a real winning streak. And then, we got to London. It had been a great parade from St Albans. Oh, we were cheering and waving flags. King Henry VI and the Lancastrians finally coming home to London. Here it is. We marched all the way up to Moorgate, getting ready to go inside. And it was shut. The city of London was shut. The gates of Moorgate remained closed. Somerset, one of the earls, sent some messengers out to find out what was going on, and they came back all red-faced and embarrassed. Turns out that the mayor won't open the gates because he's scared of the army. But it's the king's army! Oh, we didn't care about that. We looked rough, and I heard a rumour he wouldn't let northerners in. I was born in the north. My parents were cloth dyers. But no, he didn't like the north. He said that the way we speak sounds like dogs barking. Dogs? I don't sound like a dog, do I? No, I didn't think so. Must have been 2 or 3 days we were there, on the fields, outside of London, in the freezing cold, no beds, no tents, nowhere inside to be. I know a lot of people are spending a great deal of time inside right now. Oh, I'd have given anything to be inside then. So cold, especially wearing this. You sweat inside the armour, and then the sweat freezes against the metal when it gets cold. But they still wouldn't open the gates. We ran out of food. They wouldn't open the gates. So we had to retreat. Imagine that. A Lancastrian army defeats the Yorkists in the Battle of Wakefield, the Second Battle of St Albans, and then we have to run away from a city. And now Edward has been crowned king while we were gone, calling himself Edward the Fourth. So now there are two kings in England, Edward the Fourth and Henry the Sixth, one of York and one of Lancaster. But I tell you, when we meet him, we will win. We will win because we're better, and we will win because we're wearing stuff like this. Now, I know they are as well, but I think ours is better. And this is Gothic armour. Very, very fancy and high to technology, but you can't see all of it, can you? So, the lovely people at Histrionics are going to move their videos about. Now, first of all, this is Germanic or Gothic armour that weighs about 4 stone. I am not, of course, just wearing this on my normal clothes. I have thickly padded undergarments underneath. Not massive pants, but rather very thick hose made out of linen and thick wool. Those are trousers, very thick trousers, and I've got an arming jacket underneath as well. A big, thick black jacket that helps me bear the weight of this armour. It also absorbs all the sweat and means if I get hit by a very heavy weapon, I can absorb the impact. You can see those German fluting, spiky bits that I was talking about before on my back plate and on my pauldrons or my shoulder plate, on those bits that look like angels' wings. Although I've heard some of the Yorkists say they look like scallops. These fluted areas help guide the points of swords and horrible nasty weapons away from my most precious areas, as does the piece at the front here, where the armour is thickest. But of course there are bits where you could get a sword or a hammer in. Of course there are. I need to move about, so the backs of my legs, as you saw before, are bare so I can ride a horse. My armpits, they need to be free so I can move my arms about. You could try to get in there, but that's why I'm wearing the mail. Chain mail, lots of little steel rings riveted together. Now, chain mail's not really the right word for it, as technically chain sort of means mail. So if you're saying chain mail, you're really saying chain, and running into real danger of accidentally singing an Aretha Franklin song. Now, I should point out, all of these pieces slide into each other. I can raise my arms, I can spread my arms, bring them across, reach for the skies. You should be able to do loads of different exercises in this. You could run, jump, climb a ladder even, up the side of a castle wall, maybe do push-ups or sit-ups, even one of those half-hour Joe Wicks workouts that start at 9 o'clock every morning. You should be able to do absolutely everything in armour that you can do out of it. Maybe with a couple of exceptions, which are swimming and doing the Macarena. Now, armour wasn't always in colours like this. There were big, thick pieces of armour made in Italy, in Milan, and they could be polished or inlaid with gold leaf or silver as well. You might have dark armour, black armour, purple armour, blue armour, brown armour, even peacock bright blue turquoise sets. Some people in those armours. So you'd also be, of course, to be protected with them, fighting with one of these. Now, this is a sword. My personal one is a 1.5-hand sword, but lots of other knights use different weapons like axes and maces and hammers too. You don't just use the blade on one of these. You use the crosspiece to pull people over, or trip them, or bash them in the face. Now look, as I mentioned before, I know a lot of you are at home at the moment, so maybe you might want to design your own suit of armour by drawing a picture of it, or by painting it, or by making a set out of any spare cardboard you've got lying around. And don't forget your crest. That's your knight's symbol. Mine is green with 3 white stag's heads, but you can pick any colour or design or animal you like. So thank you very much for watching. I have to be going now to cleaning all of my armour using traditional methods of sand, vinegar and wee-wee.